Here we are, Lowe's. Oh, it's too windy. I think it's too windy to vlog. We're gonna go back here. There's a new street in Philadelphia. I'd never seen a new street come. Like, it's just, they built this street behind the railroad tracks, and I've never noticed it before. Not that I come back here. This is the Walmart on Aramingo Avenue. You know, I recently broke up with the Target down the street. Used to be my favorite store, and then it's just bad. It's just bad. They never have bags. They never have bags, and they never have the shopping carts in the corrals. Breaks my little heart. New street, Rick the puppy, behind the Walmart and Lowe's. We're gonna see what the hell's going on. I think it's a big warehouse. It is. It's a big warehouse behind this the new street. Oh, train dorks. Who takes care of you? Who takes care of you? Rick the puppy. The train dorks. Oh, I didn't realize. Look at this. Look at this big choo-choo train, Rick the puppy. Oh, they're going to be so excited. Look at this. Look at all the trucks. There are some people who are watching this video, and they can tell you the name of those trains. Love it. Who takes care of you, train dorks? This is all right. Here we are, the new street. Man, that's a long train, Rick the puppy. Oh, this train's still going. There you go, this way. Yeah, that's definitely another new warehouse. Right back there. There are 5 warehouses like that warehouse behind those railroad tracks being built in Bridesburg. There we go. That truck, I love that. MGD, Miller Genuine Draft. There he is. Yep. So all this property back here, that belongs to Conrail, and that's private property, so you're not allowed back there. And the other side is an Amazon warehouse, and that street was never really there before. It was kind of like an entryway to the railroad, so there was nothing ever there before. So it sort of is a new street. You know, train dorks. Look at this one. There's another one, guys. That's a small choo-choo train compared to the big one. Also, this street, about 3 years ago, was not paved. It was one of the worst paved streets in the city. And recently, all right, it's still a little bumpy right here at the railroad tracks. Yeah, pothole patrol. Oh man, so many flat tires. You gotta be careful on these streets. But besides that part, the part that will give you a flat tire, this street has improved greatly, because now there's only one spot that can give you a flat tire instead of multiple. Look at this. I used to hang up here when I was a kid, and we would walk across these railroad tracks, and we would call it playing Stand By Me, because that was a popular movie when we were kids. So I would knock on my buddy's door. My buddy Franny Bulldog. I'm like, yo, Franny, you want to go play Stand By Me? Which meant we're going to go hang on the railroad tracks. Good times. This is the Sterling building. Check out this clock tower. Rick, you got to calm down because I'm documenting history. This building was built in the 1850s. And it looks like, well, they're putting in new windows up here. It looks like it's falling apart and being preserved at the same time. Oh, that's a nice song. I'm glad they're playing that so loud. Look at the we gotta save the clock tower, Marty. Oh, I don't know if we can save the clock tower, Marty. When this building was built, not everybody had a watch. So this tower was, you know, pretty big. There wasn't much around here. So pretty much the boss man built the clock tower so his employees wouldn't be late. Growing up in the 80s, I think this was a cardboard factory. Like they made cardboard boxes. Oh man. And that really interesting roof on top of the clock tower, that's really falling apart. Here's a better shot of the clock tower, and you see it says first shift, second shift, third shift, right? We're all on time. Nobody's late. I control you. No. And if you see the graffiti, or not graffiti, the paint on the top, it says, "We will never forget you. You turn around and you come back. Remember." We're now on Frankford Avenue. Let's go this way, Rick the Puppy. We never go this way. Uh-oh. Be careful. You gotta be careful when you're around these parts. We're gonna go on the other side of the tracks, Rick the Puppy. Frankfurt, I think. Could be Harrogate. Could be Bridesburg. I do know one thing, it's Philadelphia. Uh-oh, Rick the Puppy. Be careful. They're stealing manhole covers. Back in, I feel like it's been an issue for a few years now. And it's not just happening in Philadelphia, it's happening in Delaware County. People are stealing the manhole covers. And not only manhole covers, they're stealing the doors to the crypts of graves. Don't smell that, Rick the Puppy, that's human probably. There it is, we're at the Garage Mahal. Woo, I turned around. Man, it's so many trains, Rick the Puppy. More trains than you could shake a stick at. This is an old... Oh, you know what it is? It's kind of nice out today, so people got the music. They said, you know what? I haven't shared my music with the city in so long. Let's crank that fucker to 11. So this is the new... Well, it's not new. It says grand opening on that sign. Well, it says, we are opening soon. Are you ready? Are you ready? AC/DC. This car wash has been here since I went to grade school at Conway. Special at this restaurant. This is Pete's Restaurant. It used to be called the Clown House. And this is my go-to breakfast spot. If somebody wants to go to a breakfast spot, Deckhand Dan, he was living in California. He wanted to come and get a good breakfast. We came here. The Pete's He-Man Special. You get 2 eggs, you get bacon, you get sausage. Not a choice. You get both. You get a pancake the size of your head. You get their potatoes. And what I recommend is if you get the potatoes, order them well done. Order them a little well done. Sometimes they're a little on the raw side. So I always order them a little well done. And then you get a cup of coffee. And it might be less than $10. I don't know. I don't know how you do that now with the price of eggs. Here we are, the old North Catholic. It's now a charter school. Going to be turning down Hunting Park. Right here. I feel like the winds have died down, Rick the Puppy. Wouldn't you say? There it is, North Catholic High School. I recently found out that the real name of the school was Northeast Catholic High School, not just North Catholic. I think it's a law. Everybody who graduated from North Catholic, everybody I know, they all have a beard, some type of facial hair. Right, Rick the Puppy? This is probably my least favorite intersection in the city. Hunting Park, Tarsdale Ave, Frankford Ave. It's the worst timed lights. Wow, the Frankford Creek is very shallow. And here's the Frankford Creek. Oh, could this make the calendar? Oh, I don't think so. Here's a building. Right here. Ooh, look at the train, the L. You got the L going and the abandoned building. Oh, this could make the calendar. Looks like they're repurposing this vacant building. It's this thing. This building has been vacant for, oh man, decades. Another piece of graffiti on the side of the wall. I still don't know how they do that. Maybe they were scout. I don't know how do you do that? It's talent. Dangerous. And there's no sign of what. Oh, it says CSS International Corporation. Boy, that sounds, I don't know what the hell that is. But it has that. It's hard to explain. You have to be in a, if you haven't been in an abandoned building, it's hard to it smells like an abandoned building, like musky or musty. Oh gosh, and there's dogs, Rick the Puppy. Yeah, I don't see. It looks like maybe these will be lofts. Isn't that crazy? And then right here, this used to, or maybe this still is, domestic uniforms. They do. You know, if you have a restaurant or a pizzeria, this is where you go. You rent your chef jackets, your aprons. You got them from this place, and they'll send a guy around to your shop every week, and he'll clean up your dirty aprons and give you a new apron. Adams Ave. Oh, I wonder if Adams Ave is named after John Adams. I never thought about that till right now. John Adams was given a thing called the Frankfurt Advice. It was some advice that when the First Continental Congress met, there it is, domestic rent, they're always hiring. They're always hiring. Shout out to Tom V, one of the OG deckhands. And anyway, yeah, so John Adams once, he would camp out, not camp out, there were a bunch of hotels on this street up here, Frankfurt Ave. And he was hanging out with somebody, and they told him, like, listen, when the First Continental Congress gets together, you and all you other Massachusetts people, you guys keep your mouth shut. And you let the Washington people and the people from Virginia to talk. And John Adams took that advice during the First Continental Congress, and he called that advice the Frankfurt Advice. And if he didn't follow the Frankfurt Advice, some people say the nation would never be unified. I don't know who those people are, but right here is Wamrath Park. I call it Hooker Park. That's what we called it growing up. I was in a band in the 90s called Public Urination, and we had a concert right here. Where's the historical marker? Right here at Hooker Park. We opened up the show, and I remember somebody came here while I was on stage performing, and they were taking wedding photos. And I was like, who the hell would take their wedding on camera? Former site of the Walmrath Mansion, second reading of the Declaration of Independence was here. That's not necessarily true. I think the second reading of the Declaration of Independence happened in the parking lot of the old dirty movie theater. But before we go there, because now we talked about it. So there's this house here. This is called the Winter Worrell. Back in the day, this was a grist mill. This is where they would make the grist. And this is actually one of the oldest houses in the United States. And this was a vacant building about a decade ago. Oh, got the train going by. About a decade ago, this was a vacant building. And this guy, Andy, bought this house. And he fixed it up. And it's beautiful inside. And some people from the city gave him a hard time. He was trying to make it like a museum, and they gave him a hard time. You can see he has like a piece of art display in there, and because the city gave him such a hard time, he just said, you know what, I'm just going to keep it, I'll preserve it. I saved it. It's nice. I just want, people can check it out from the outside. It's just too much problems. But anyway, that's one of the oldest buildings in the United States. And if you go down here, you'll go to what used to be the Art Holiday Theater, and that's where they used to play, they're called adult movies. And the second reading of the Declaration of Independence, the first one done publicly by Thomas Jefferson, happened in the dirty movie theater parking. This time I would always drive down Frankford Avenue. I would see these historical murals, and I just thought they were because Philadelphia is a historic place. I had no idea that history happened here. I went to school right off of Kensington Ave. And I never had a teacher, I don't remember any teacher ever talking about the significance of Frankford Ave and all the stuff that happened. That's a kind of a shame. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is a great shot. There you go. Go train dorks, who takes care of you? Yeah, right here in this parking lot, this is where Thomas Jefferson read the Declaration of Independence. Somewhere here publicly. No historical marker. There are very few historical markers in this part of Philadelphia. The first house with a mortgage is in this neighborhood. This is the Church Street L stop. And right here, this used to be a video store back in the 90s. And they have these old cartoons painted on the wall from back when it was a video store. Back when Ghostbuster 2 was a popular movie. Back when DuckTales and Land Before Time were trending. Here's an old payphone. I decided that this is something I'm going to start showing. I did a walk the other day with Rick underneath the L, going the opposite direction. And I think we saw 4 of these shells. Maybe not the phone itself, but this thing. The thing that held the phone in place. And I was wondering, how long do they stay? They probably stay there forever in some spots. It is. It was the last video store. Oh, it's closed. Everything must go. Instant pleasure awaits you. I don't know if I would use that to describe this place. A hoarder's paradise? Yes. Instant pleasure? I don't know. That's just a bad description. But it was the last video store. And looks like it's closed. Yeah, you go walking around these streets and you'll come across these old cemeteries. And those are probably pre-1850. You got this church here. There's a lot of old churches. 1807 it was established. Like a stained glass right there. Yeah. I'm going to show you things you're not going to see on other YouTube channels. For example, this right here. This is the highest curb. Rick the Puppy. Look how high this curb is. Oh wow, how can you jump so high, Rick the Puppy? Look at this. It's the highest curb in Philadelphia. Are you impressed? This was probably an old train stop back in the day. It's no longer a train stop. Rick the Puppy pissed on it. I'm filming this one time change day. The clocks went ahead an hour yesterday. Sunday afternoon. Man, it could be 5 o'clock, right? It's 6 p.m. My internal clock is screwed. And speaking of screwed, I got to tell you what my good friend Buster from Q102, what he did to me today. Right now, Jalen Hurts is at a card show. And I was supposed to take part of that card show. And, do my fun thing, interview the players about, catch up on a hot dog and, what's it like to be, what was it like at the Super Bowl parade? I ask fun questions. That's how I look at it. And I usually help out the guys at Fox Sports The Gambler. And I woke up this morning, got a text message from the guy for Fox Sports The Gambler. He said, listen, Buster said you can't be part of this. And I was like, well, it has nothing to do with Buster. And they said, nah, we can't, we can't use you. Over here is the Royal Farms. They have Tesla charging stations. Well, this is the first time. Oh, no. Okay, now they're all being used. This is the first time I've seen an empty Tesla. Oh, no, there might be one. Usually there's a line of people here charging their cars. In Philadelphia, the majority of the houses, well, you've seen what we walked through, the majority of the houses are row homes. So it's kind of hard we don't have garages. So people have to come to these gas stations to charge up their car. It takes like a half hour, they say. So what I do, Rick the Puppy, is I buy a car, you put gasoline in it. And then I don't have to sit here for a half hour. I feel like I have anxiety issues. And I feel like my life would be nothing but anxiety, just worrying that where I'm driving, I wouldn't know where the closest charging station is. Like whenever the gas light pops on in the car, I gotta tell you, it ruins my life. The light's on. Gas station. I think I just solved the time change problem. What if instead of doing 1 hour ahead, we just do 15 minutes ahead every 3 months? And then at winter, we just go back an hour. I think that would save a lot of lives. You know how many people die of like car accidents and heart attacks because they don't get proper rest this week? You'll see, it'll be all over the news. And then they'll talk about, oh, they're going to get rid of the time change. Now I'm on Aramingo Avenue, walking back up to Lowe's where we started to walk. This fence is kind of new. Maybe a year or two it's been here. Maybe it could be 3 years. But not that long ago, there was quite the encampment back here. This is the Frankford Creek we crossed over earlier. It's very shallow. I don't think I've ever seen it this shallow. Yeah, there's maybe an encampment. Oh no, there's a few back there. There's a whole bunch of railroad land in the neighborhood of Bridesburg. It goes from here all the way down to the Delaware River. And you'll have people camped out there for a while, and then they get chased away and they just go somewhere else. And chasing people away never really solves the problem, it just makes the problem go somewhere else. Now, what's the sign of the times? Right here is a Rise dispensary. That's where you can buy Jazz cigarettes there, right? Before that Rise dispensary was there, it was a Comcast building. Comcast Xfinity. That's where you would get your cable boxes, your modems. So many people, they got rid of a lot of the Comcast stores because people were getting rid of cable. So cable was out. Cannabis is in, my friend. Not necessarily legal. Like, you have to have medical marijuana. You have to buy a car. Not necessarily legal in Pennsylvania. You have to buy a card to get it. Now, if you go across the bridge in New Jersey, you could buy whatever you want at some of the dispensaries. Other ones, you'd need a card. It's weird. Isn't this interesting? This is the Tesla charging ports, charging stations here at Wawa, and they're all open. But the Royal Farms, most of them are being used. Huh. I don't even know how the hell you would use this. Where do you put your card? How does this work? What do they do? Do they just charge your card? Like, do they have your information on your car and they just charge it when you charge it? Is that how that works? Because there's nowhere to slide a debit card. You get a propane tank here at Wawa, $25.99. Can't beat it. Gotta buy. I don't know if that's true. That's a good price. Is that a good price? Gas here at the Wawa gas station, $3.11. There's another gas station a block away, and their gas is $3.14. And we're back where we started, on Aramingo Avenue. We're going to be doing a walking history tour in Port Richmond the last weekend. I'm not sure about Saturday or Sunday yet. I will probably know before when I get back from spring training. Take you on a tour of the neighborhood I grew up in, telling you some of the historic sites and some of the things that I witnessed in this neighborhood growing up. This was back in the 50s and 60s, all this space in Aramingo Avenue, slaughterhouses. And you walk around the neighborhood, there's so many railroad tracks. And the trains would come here and pick up the slaughter animals. Some people say the stench of Aramingo Avenue was unforgettable. It used to really stink. Me and Rick the Puppy do cameos. If you... Okay, yeah, please. Drive through the parking lot like that. We do cameos. Book us on Cameo. And check out my merch at Hog Island Press. And sign up for Patreon. Come on, Rick the Puppy, let's get you some water.